Brother sent the message hot off the press. He wanted me to answer a question, excuse me, about, not really answer a question, but I guess to kind of prepare a video about the metaphysics of New York. And it's a lot that I could say about that, but let's start with this, and we can turn this into a series if, you know, yourself or other people decide that, because he did actually donate, so I mean, this is kind of like his thread. So if other people or yourself decide to continue to donate, I'll keep dropping information, but let's just start with this. This country started with colonies, and then that eventually led into what you would call a state. And on a spiritual level, how would you view a colony versus the viewership of a state? Now, a state, of course, you can look at that like a state of mind. And a state of mind is basically pretty much like a seed that may be planted in your mind that, when nurtured, turns into something visible that you see, like whether it's a tree or whatever the case may have you. So when you talk about a state and the fact that states came out of colonies, when you think about colonies on a spiritual level, of course you would think about, particularly what comes to mind to me is insects and the insect community. And many insects live in colonies or groups. And in most colonies, when you study it, it's always like a tier or hierarchy. Each member in the colony has a function, like a specific function, to the point where they couldn't be someone else or do someone else's job or get jealous about someone else's job or anything like that, because that's not their function. It's just not what they do. So it's not even their worry, it's not their concern. So this country came from that state or that type of existence of colonies, which is more of a hierarchy, and eventually led into a state of mind, which eventually led to a dream, which eventually led to a reality of individuals feeling like they could create their own reality, or that they were magicians that had control over the magic wand or control over the chalice cup or whatever the case may be, and they could create their own reality. So I'm saying this because eventually it'll get legal, and I'll talk about that too as well, but the fact that this country came from a colony is proving that at some point, some group of people acknowledged that we were energetic beings and that we were born with what's called a life purpose. So what happened was that eventually, if you study most colonies, again, there's always like a form of a pyramid, let's just call it that. Some form of a hierarchy representing some physical structure that the group that's involved in the colony kind of revolves, like everything revolves around this structure. Like this is, to them, life is this structure. Like to us, we don't have usually, a house to us is the closest thing of life being a structure that we could kind of imagine. You know, the fact of like building a house or something of that nature. So that's what usually our life revolves around, where we live at, which is normal because this is our root chakra. So what in New York, one of the secret things about it is that New York was once a city underground. And over time, they came out of the ground and took the surface. So New York has a real, and most of the colonies have this same history, not just New York. It may be set up slightly different in various different colonies, you know, as far as how the hierarchy was set up or how the colony was ran, but each state, it's called a state now, but each colony represented, was based on a structure, something physical that particular colony revolved around. And it's no different with New York. I mean, you have the Eiffel Tower and Statue of Liberty and things of that nature. Thank you. And it's no different with New York. So go ahead and get to my food. I appreciate you guys' support. Appreciate you guys. Was able to get my first veggie meal in a long time, man. My money's been really bad, so I have not been able to eat the way I wanted to. So it has a lot to do with my health and things like that for those people that are concerned. But we'll talk about that another time. Just wanted to throw that in there. His brother brought me the food. But so yeah, New York it comes from the ground, and it goes into this old doctrine of understanding when things were based on tiers and rights, or a Reich, excuse me, which is actually a form of a level of existence that different civilizations live on, something similar to like a dimension. So New York is deep. To understand New York fully, you have to understand it's a secret within a secret. There are plenty of movies talking about this. I like to always reference The Adjustment Bureau, because The Adjustment Bureau tells the story of New York clearly. Really great movie to watch if you want to kind of go more into what I'm talking about. Now, there's a lot more I can say. Eventually, I'm going to break out a map if you guys want me to. If you guys continue to donate. And I'll break out the map and show you guys how all of these so-called states are connected through an underground Orwellian network. And that's the most important thing I want to point out in this video. And New York is one of the key headquarters because you have Wall Street there. Stock market, New York Stock Exchange, actually. So it's a lot that can be said about that. I think I want to go ahead and put a pin in it here and let you guys marinate on that. And I appreciate you guys' support, donations that you've been sending to the number 13 science plural astrology at gmail.com. Stay vigilant. Thank you for watching. Peace.